There's Kathy girl. We live?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Kathy. Good to see you, friend. You see me okay, Kathy, and hear me okay? There's Adeline. Hi, Adeline. Welcome, friend. Everybody's a little bit late signing in today. Hello, ladies and Bryce.
Hello, hello.
There's Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Hey, honey, give me one of the 1-inch wide rolls from the end of the box at the end of the table, please. I've kind of gotten to really like those. Excellent. Thank you, Kathy. Wait till you see Margie's next card kit, Kathy. She's using a Kathy bow. Hi, Mariana. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, without further ado, let's talk about what we're going to make today. I have a goal for getting these things on the show, on the roll faster and closer to start time. That's one of my goals. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Oops, I can figure out where I'm going. Okay, here's our first, well, that's not necessarily our first card, but we're going to take a quick sweep through what we're going to make today. Here is World's Best Dad. You are the greatest. I love these cards. I just got to say, I love the colors.
Hi, Kathy.
I think that they are just really fun. There's our. I can't get that whole one in view, honey. I got to back up just a little. There we go. There we go. To my wonderful husband. Sending birthday wishes. The colors are so vibrant, so beautiful on these, and yet they're very elegant. Best wishes. It's good to see your face, Bryce.
Wait.
Happy birthday. I love that because he doesn't like to be seen on camera. This is one of my favorites, The Greatest Dad. I just think this turned out really, really neat. And so affordable. This kit is so affordable.
For some reason, it's not showing you.
Love this one. It was shown on the TV as me. That was weird. To a great guy. To my special friend. And remember, guys, with this kit, this is half. I'm only using half the toppers. You get 2 each of all these sheets. You're the best. And then Bryce's favorite, the Pheasant easel card. Happy birthday inside. So let's see what we get in our kits. We'll stack these up for the moment. We'll take a quick perusal through our kit, and we're going to get this show on the road. There you are. Hi, honey. You're showing on my screen.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be.
I do so love it. I'm going to sort the different sizes out here. We're making cards in 3 different sizes, I guess. We're making one into a specialty card, but our cards will be 3 different sizes. Let's take a look at our kit. Your camera screen there is big, right in the middle.
Oh, they're not seeing this.
Oh, okay. Oh, come back. I'll do it, Mary R. We'll say hi to Bob for you. He's in holding Teddy right now. As we left, Teddy was, that was frozen again, stretched out across his lap, and the two of them were just having the nicest little cuddle time. All right, let's see what we get in our kit. We got this packet of baker's twine, 2 different colors of baker's twine, a bunch of different golden gems, and a piece of red satin. We are going to have 4 different DL cards with envelopes, of course. We are going to have 3 different 5x5s with envelopes. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USA 6. We have 5 sheets of DL Miri. We have 2 sheets of 5x5 Miri. We have a whole bunch of A6 Miri. These card kits are really a value when you look at everything you get. You get a whole sheet of foam squares. You get the paper crafting, I believe it's kit 190, issue 190, Papercraft Essentials. No matter what it says about contests and giveaways, disregard that, because some of these magazines are older issues, but the articles in these magazines are spectacular. You get all kinds of additional ideas. I mean, maybe follow some of the design ideas from us for the first issue, or for the first card, and then go through some of the ideas in here for additional designs, because there's some fun ideas here for gift giving and stuff for Father's Day too. So maybe do one with us and then do your other one with the magazine ideas. And then this kit that comes in the magazine is just very rich for a magazine kit. I'm totally impressed with this one. That's fine. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our collection in this magazine. It's just so rich. You get 2 of these. Turn it so it's front face to you. You get 2 of these. 2 of these. There's 10 sheets of toppers in total. 2 of these, and they got some nice little layering pieces and stuff too on some of these. 2 of these. 2 of these. And then we've got beautiful foiled papers. This tag, this one with the plaid has some nice foiling. This green we're going to use, I think this is the one that's in the easel card. 2 of those. You get this really pretty burgundy. I love this one. This is probably my favorite. It's rich. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Well, I'm so glad you got your second shot, and it's so nice to see you tune in. This is an amazing kit for a magazine kit. It's really amazing. I love this one. That's so pretty and so rich with the pine. I love the fern too. And then we got the leaves. He just did a fabulous job on this kit. And this burgundy is so rich. And then we've got that nice blue. So it's just a really good collection. And these toppers are not cheap toppers. These have beautiful rich foiling on them. We'll just start at the beginning, I guess, and work our way through, shall we? Doesn't matter to me which order we start in, so we'll just pull one of these out. And really gummed in there. And let's start with the stag. I know you say you start with the stag because you love deer. Well, that's true. I do love deer, but it happens to be first in the kit, too. The foil is beautiful, isn't it? Okay.
That's not the deer you used on that card.
What's that?
That's not the deer you used.
Yeah, I have another
You
deer.
have another one?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
We're going to make this one.
Push your pile of rabbit cards out up a little bit higher.
Sure. The pile of rabbits. Move the pile of rabbits, Deborah, he says. Okie dokie. I can do that. Bryce and Lauren went walking at the nature park today and had a really wonderful walk. It's beautiful outside, not hot, not cold, just gorgeous, beautiful sunshine. And they saw a mother nutria with 7 babies, and that's how Lauren described them. They were all piled up on a log, Mom. We saw a pile of nutria. They were all piled up. Okay, let's put this dimensional sheet on top of our deer. Might need to cut a few of these foam squares in half. Come on. There we go. Might need to cut a few in half to fit these little antlers, but we'll want to support them so they don't sag back. We actually did. I've been talking about giving you guys bigger squares to work with, and we actually are including bigger squares in the beach. I don't know what we call these cards. We're actually putting bigger squares in these, so you get to try those. See what you think. I love them. You know how I'm always talking about my shop being such a disaster? You guys should see my work area. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I finished my work out here last night, and then I was so inspired by the fact that we were making progress in here that I worked a couple extra hours and made my work area here absolutely wonderful. And we'll see how long it lasts. I hope it lasts a while because it was a lot of work, but it looks just fabulous. So clean and nice and organized. It really feels good when you do that. Maybe I lived in Scotland for a while. Love that tartan. Makes me want to be there. Yeah, I'll bet. I'd love to visit Scotland. Is that where the Highland Cows are? Is in Scotland? Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to go see some Highland Cows in person. That would be fun. These are just really, really nice masculine cards, guys. I didn't look to see how many people had picked this kit up yet, but it's really worth having. I'm telling you, I don't recall it being all that expensive for a kit that will make more than 24 cards. I mean, we're sending you supplies for 12, and that ends up being 2 something a card, as I recall. And this will make twice as many. So it's really an amazing value. I don't know how your access, Catherine, is there. I think we talked the other day about it being difficult for you to get things from Britain right now. So I don't know how your access is to magazines and stuff from Great Britain. I hope you can get them. Aberdeen Angus. And they're big, huh? That's cool. Oh, you got your kit lickety split. I'm so glad. Oh, you guys are just gonna get your order so fast. We got our packing store back down there. Now, again, that is no reflection on Margie and Brittany and everything they did for me during COVID. They have been superstars, especially given the fact that those guys continued doing their regular jobs while we were still reeling from not being able to hire anybody, timely and stuff. They did their own regular jobs and then still jumped in and got those orders and stuff out the door. So I'm so proud of them. And maybe our error rate might have been just a little bit higher because everybody was doing double time, but they still were superstars in the greater scheme of things. And then, but now with Ashley back on board, everybody can really focus back on their own jobs. And it is just marvelous. We've only had her back for a week, and she said everybody here has told her how happy they are that she's here. She says she's never had a better greeting on a job. As Bryce caught her and told her how nice it was she was back when she brought the mailboxes upstairs and he didn't have to go get them. And Margie told her how nice it was that she wasn't going to be bending and stooping filling orders down there because that was kind of hard on her body, but she did it anyway. And Brittany told her how glad she was back. It's like the car is now running on all four wheels. We got Margie, Brittany, Debbie, and Ashley. And even though that we have not increased hours substantially, it's with everybody doing their own jobs, it can just operate so much more efficiently. It's just so nice. It's like we kind of took a break out for COVID and now everything's back to normal and beautiful and wonderful. So I'm loving it, I'm telling you. Okay, covered my card. You might need to back out just a little bit, honey, because I don't want to be cutting and stuff over people's heads so they can't see what I'm doing. Okay, I need to go back into my book and I need to find this dark blue background piece. So I'm going to go look for that. I could use whatever I want, but in my sample I used the dark blue, so I believe it would be this one. Yeah, I'm sure it is. And I'm going to cut that, since I know that my card is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. I'm going to cut this to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 to layer up on that background. And that should be a very nice fit, and is. So I'll go ahead and put that down.
Debbie, did you say that tartan is plaid?
Did I say tartan is plaid? I think tartan.
Well, you showed a plaid.
Oh.
Paper.
I don't know what I said. I'm not sure what I said, Catherine. Do you want to see him again?
She was just trying to understand what tartan was. So she's translated it and it came up as plaid.
Oh, well, there are some plaids in here, but I'm not sure if any of them qualify. Oh, there's one that's might qualify. I don't remember what. There are a lot of plaids in the back of here, which makes perfect sense now that you tell me that the Highland Cows are Scottish. To have all those plaids in there, that makes a lot of sense. as we all kind of equate plaids with Scotland. So, oh, you're going to the ocean tomorrow? Yay, good for you. Oh, I want to make a beach trip. I'm kind of getting a little bit of wanderlust here after we've all been locked up so long. And I am anxious. Oops, that didn't go on straight, even though I was doing my tape flags. I got distracted and didn't put it down well. So the only reason I pulled that up, guys, is because I'm using this craft style tape, which is a little bit more forgiving. Don't try and pull it up if you're on any other kind. But you can see I did wrinkle it a little bit, but it's not going to show because the topper is going to go right down over the top of that. But you don't want to try and pull that up if you're on any other kind. We'll do different kind of error resolution if we. I'm going to put this topper here. I actually think I didn't do this on my ridge. Oh, maybe I can't. Now I see why I didn't. I was thinking about putting this up on some foam squares, but that would leave my tag awkwardly positioned, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm lifting my pieces of my antler just a bit so I can slide this tag kind of in behind the antlers just a little bit and fit it to the card. His antler is going to go through the tag just a bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine that it does that because the tag is still absolutely readable. It kind of melds the elements of your card together when they kind of overlap a bit. So I'm going to put some tape on here, slide that all in, and we will, I'll bet. Oh, Kathy, I'm jealous that you got to go to the ocean. I think that's wonderful, though. Wonderful. I need a beach trip, honey. I need a beach trip. Okay. Because I already stuck that tag in there, I'm going to put a little piece of tape kind of overlapping that tag in the back so that tag will stay where it's supposed to be. Now I don't like the way that's positioned, so I'm going to move it. I got it too far to one side. Should have just waited and put it in when I was done, but sometimes I get ahead of myself. Let's just put this down and then we'll put it in. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more tape on this piece and slide it in there. Sometimes I need to make some black or white real skinny dimensionals. Yes, I agree with you, Kathy. It's really good to cut some down in just some really skinny little pieces, isn't it? You know, one of the things that we have two things in stock that can help you with that. We actually have some little mini foam squares that are pretty cool. They're like 2.5 or 3 by 3 by 2 millimeter. So we have some little tiny bitty foam squares that are useful for getting in those littler spaces. But we also have some I was looking at yesterday with Britt that are um, little lines, little tiny skinny lines. Oops, got to put my little beads on now. There's bigger beads and little beads, and we're using the little ones for this card. Get a few of these out here. I use these littler golden gems. And I'm putting the gems right in the corners. That gives it a good look. Whoop. Yeah, those skinny lines that I was talking about, Kathy girl, they're on a sheet. There's two widths. One of them is super skinny, and the other one is um, a little bit less skinny. But look for the lines in foam squares. I'll link them for you in the newsletter. Hi, Sharma. Welcome, friend. We just finished our first card in our Highland kit. Aren't they pretty? I love these. I'll set that one aside. What do we want to? Oh, I guess we might as well see what else we have. Let's go back to our book. We'll get the other deer, the tall deer paper. Let's get one of these. And we're going to get one of our DL mirror boards. We'll get one of our DL cards. DL, as you guys know, is the 4x8 cards. And I've had somebody ask me about the exact dimensions of these, and I didn't have any handy. I saw the question. Let me tell you what those dimensions are. This one is 4 inches wide by, they're supposed to be 4x8, but they tend to vary just a little bit. This one's 8 1/4. So if you want it to be 8, you'd need to trim it just a little bit. This one's already the width of a sheet of adorable scoreable or A4 paper. So that when I put this topper, this mirror board on, it's a real close fit. In fact, it's a perfect fit for that card. So that's the size of the craft style ones. Makes the booklet. I don't know that they tell us in here, since it might say in the magazine. I'm not sure who's making the booklet, because this was literally a giveaway. Not a giveaway, because we know that the giveaways are all priced into the cost of the magazine. They say that. It always kind of annoys me that they say this is free. Yeah, the amount of free stuff they put in really influences the cost of the magazine usually. So I don't know that they can say it's free, but they do. There's nothing on here that tells me who made these, but they are very, very well made. It wouldn't even surprise me if they might have been printed for them by Hunky Dory. I'm not saying they were, because I don't know that. I'm just saying it's that level of quality. Okay. Let's get a couple sheets of tape on here. We'll get this Mary down. And do you want to cover my cards for me again? That was helpful when you did that last time. And in all maybe everything except the 5x5s. I'll do those as we go because they're placed a little differently, but that would save us a little bit of time if you wanted to do that. You just pass some of this over to Bryce. He did a great job layering these for me last time. Oops. I did not do a great job layering that, I gotta say. Rather than pulling it up, I think I'm going to give you this tape because it's more forgiving. And you'll have more, maybe you may have more Mary than you have cards. That's okay, because then some I used two. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to trim this down just a little bit, guys, because see, I was talking and I got it off just a little on the edge. And I'm just going to trim this edge. Oops, come on, get back in there. I'm going to trim this edge up now. You notice on my Caterpillar, I'm opening the card to do this, but these heavy cards covered with Mary, it tends to perform better if I do it a layer at a time than it does if I try and cut through 2 layers of, that's perfect. Don't even need to do the back. Okay, than it does if I try and cut through 2 layers of 300 GSM plus an extra, I don't know, 250 or 260. It kind of drags a little bit if I try and go through that many layers at a time. And I could do that, but why? So this one is already pre-positioned on its background sheet. So we are going to, man, I just really messed that up. 3 edges. It's pretty hard to mess up 3 edges at one time, guys. But it was a perfect fit to begin with, so I got it a little bit off on 3 sides. But I shamelessly cut it down. We know these cards were, it's now just slightly less, but they were 4 inches. So I'm going to make this 3 3/4 to start with. And then I can always trim a little more if I want to. This pad was already 8 inches. So it's pretty close already. Now see, just because I trimmed it down, I think I'll take just a tad more off. I could leave it this way, but I kind of would like to let a little more of my Mary show on here. So I'm going to take just a tad more off my wider of 2 sizes. This is just a little bit wider, and I'll take a tiny bit off the top. And when I'm saying just a little more, I'm talking about like 1/8 of an inch total on each side, just to compensate for having trimmed it just a little bit. Let's see how that looks. That should give me some nice borders now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm trying to decide if I still want a little bit more. And I think that's actually pretty good. That looks nice. All right. Okay. Memorial Day, Catherine, maybe somebody's answering. Memorial Day is a holiday, an American holiday where we honor our fallen soldiers. Primarily, it's kind of become a day where we celebrate people we've lost, but I believe it was originally to celebrate fallen soldiers. But it's just a day to stop and remember the sacrifices that people have made for us. You know, especially those that have made that ultimate sacrifice. A thank you to them and their families. Shopping for pastel watercolor pencils. Hello, Annette. I'm not sure I said hello. Hello, Annette. Welcome, twin. She's not actually my twin, but we have concluded that there are many things alike in our lives. So she's my internet twin. Hello, Ruth Ann. Welcome, friend. We just jumped right in and started crafting today. Okay, this one's a really easy card. We're gonna put some gems on here. We're gonna add a little accent from our kit. This time I'm gonna use 6. I included lots of these little gems this time. Or 6, I need 6 gems for this one. We're going to use those, and we're going to use 2 more of our components from our topper sheet. We're going to use Ascending Birthday Wishes. We'll put that up on some foam squares up here. And we're going to use this little pine cone over the corner here.
DL wants you to do 2 strips of tape.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and I still have a couple nice pieces left on there, but that one is fundamentally finished. We are moving right through here today. Anybody crafting with me? You know if they are good ones, Debbie. What was the question? You know if they're good ones, Debbie? We're from Roberta, huh?
The pastel color pencils and watercolors.
What card number are we on? We are finishing number 2 right now out of 12. Oh my gosh, your day 2 of your first 4-day weekend in 2 years. Well, congratulations on getting some time off for you. That's wonderful. You deserve it. That's a long time to go without a 4-day weekend. Okay. We're just about to finish up card number 2. We are doing our second stag card. And then we'll move on and do something different. Maybe some hairs. They're next to my stack.
Part of it is your Mary is slightly smaller than these DL cards.
Depends on the folding. Look at the folding of the DLs. We did get a few of the DLs that weren't folded as well as they could be. If it needs a little trimming around the edges, don't worry about that, honey, because I had to trim mine. So if it needs just a little trimming around the edges, don't worry. Yeah, what you can do is refold that, match the edges, and then crease it with your fingernail, or I have a scoring tool if you want one. Makes it easier. Get that little scoring tool for you.
Good.
Here, yeah, well, no, just give it to you in case you want to run a different one. Yeah, I noticed that the DLs, even though these are like top quality cards, occasionally their settings can get off on their machine, and you can have just a little bit of overfold or underfold on them. So I like to just straighten them up as I go if there's any issue with the folding of the cards. I don't get too upset about that. I feel like it's just okay. All right. Okay, we have those on. I just want to show you something, just how much difference these little gems make. See the difference between the two of those? Just putting those little gems on just makes, I think, sometimes just a huge difference in the total appearance of your card. Although I do realize when I picked that up and looked at it that I positioned this just a little high. Fortunately, foam squares will often let you move it for just a few seconds. Sometimes it takes them just a minute to completely bond down to the paper, and that can give you a chance to reposition things a little bit. And then I didn't get it straight. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put, don't know what it is about 3 dots, but you see me use that a lot because that seems to be just about the right amount. Left my bottle open just that long, and a little hole decided to clog on me. That seems to be just the right amount. Sometimes just 3 little dots to, come on. It really decided to close up on me. You saw me use this glue bottle just a second ago, and it was fine. Now, all of a sudden, it wants to be pesky. Why isn't that interesting? Let's try a different one. This one I haven't used for a while, so it's clogged. Just keep a pen handy to clear these. I'll get that other one working here shortly, but there we go. We have glue. This one's just being a pain. I don't know why. I used it just a second ago, but I didn't cap it right afterwards. Okay, so back to our 3 dots. I'm not sure what makes 3 dots work so well, but they do. Sometimes 3 dots is just the right amount of embellishment. 2 is not enough sometimes. 5's too many. Odd numbers tend to work well. I got just a little bit of glue out over the edge there. It's not going to matter. It's going to dry clear. And then I'm going to put these down this way, just for something different. Okay, there we are. Number 2 is finished. Aren't these nice masculine cards, guys? There we go. 2 cards done. Here was our first one if you tuned in late. Here's the first one we finished. So that will take care of our 2 deer. All right, let's get some rabbits out here. We'll do some cards with rabbits. So we'll go back to our pad and find our rabbit topper. Skipping past our second deer. Go get these hares. I guess they're probably hares. They don't look, they have that longer nose. They don't look like rabbits. They look like hares. Okay. And let's see, I'm also, nope, we have 2 separate toppers on this sheet. So we'll make these up. We've got this bigger one. This is one of the larger toppers in this set. We're going to use this one on one of our 5x5 cards, and he has a layering piece here. And then we have this little guy. Say hi to Margie. She just came in. Hi, Margie.
You can hear.
Hello, friend. We are fine. Your butterflies and beads are over there. Okay, let's go. We're going to put a happy birthday here with this one. And with this one, we're going to use the You're the Greatest. So let's get that one out. And it doesn't matter which one we do first, but I'm kind of inclined to want to do the bigger one for some reason. So let's do that one. We'll set those toppers aside. With that, let's get one of these 5x5 cards out and one of our 5x5 Mary. Now, this card that we're using is ever so slightly smaller. It's a lot of times when they say 5x5, they're actually 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 5x5, but see how I put the white border around this one? I'm going to skip the white border, which is actually a little sad because I liked it. But if I trim this down to get that white border, excuse me, I'm going to get really tight in on that topper, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come clear out to the border this time with my mirror board. Yeah, you never really know from different manufacturers whether you're going to get a 5x5 or whether you're going to get a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And we just kind of use them interchangeably and change up our designs just ever so slightly. These guys are talking about your class on Thursday, Margie. They're saying you did a great job and they're looking forward to your next one. You got some really nice comments on the YouTube page too. I don't know if you looked at those, but
I have not. Been a busy little bit.
okay. Oh, I was gonna say, what did I do with that? And turned it upside down. That's all it took for me to lose it. Scary, huh? Let go. Well, I guess I'm going to put you there because it just wants to stick now. And I'm going to go for it because sometimes it isn't worth moving it. We were just talking about the fact that sometimes cards are off just a tad. This is one that's off just a little bit. So that may force me to be just a little bit creative with my... Okay, now I'm going to go get my first layer. And that is going to be that plaid from in here. I love this plaid. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous with the foiling? Their foiling's really quite nice on these. I want to measure this card just to be sure exactly what I've got. It is a true 5x5. So I'm going to make this 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. It'll give me an 1/8 border around, which would be very nice. And I'll put this down on here. See how that's looking. That is looking great. Really pretty. And get a little tape on here. And try my tape flags again. A little tape on. You have your own place now, Annette. Well, good. Congratulations. That's excellent. Excellent. Roberta says she'll never throw out her pencil shavings again. And they said you look so relaxed and at ease this time.
Yay. I'm so glad that I can.
Powerful.
Thank you.
She's moving back to Georgia.
You have moved back or are in the process of moving back?
That's moving back.
I have not seen anything related to Hunky Dory yet. It's late, but I think that's a COVID thing because they were shut down for a long time in UK. And oh, look at that. I got this glue bottle working and it's making a little mess all over my.
You cleaned up, and now you can't find your baby wipes.
That is a true statement. Where are my baby wipes? Yep, cleaned up, can't find a thing. Actually, I can find almost everything. My baby wipes got to the other end of the table. They can never be very far from me. Because I'm messy. But I know, sure as I'm sitting here, that if I don't clean up that little glue mess right there, right now, I'm going to have something in it. Because that's the way I roll. We know it to be true. Okay, keep those baby wipes handy. I really got that glue bottle working now.
It's leaving Monday, June 7th. She hasn't seen her husband in a whole year.
What? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Say goodnight to Catherine. It's now midnight.
Good night, Catherine. Catch you on the rerun, friend. Thanks for dropping in. Always fun to see you. Okay. I have our little dimensional hair here. It didn't feel very sticky, but I guess it's off. You guys ever do that? You stick your fingers in your foam squares to see if you peeled the paper yet? I do that all the time. They probably make them ever so slightly less sticky, but it gets the job done. All right, next we are going to wrap some twine around this card. So I'm going to pull, now there's different colors in different kits because I ran out of the soft green. If you're out of the soft green, then choose one of the other two colors that you like the best. There's nothing sacred about having one color or another. It's just a matter of, well, just a matter of what you want to work with. Both will look good. Everything I put in the kits will look good. I've held it up, checked it, made sure it's all going to be wonderful. In fact, I actually used the brown on this one. Did all that talking about the green, and then it was actually brown. I think everybody got brown. A few people got black and white instead of green. Won't matter. It just doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to come to the end of my string here, and I'm going to hold this in place and give myself enough room to tie here. And then I'm just going to wrap this around once and twice. And I'm going to tie, I could just tie a knot, or I can tie a little bow, whatever suits your fancy. And wrap that around. Make a little loop on one side, make a little loop on the other side, like that, little rabbit ears. No pun intended.
James is hinting at the word that you're out of
Okay. And I'm going to tighten down that little bow again. Tighten it down a little bit. I almost didn't leave myself enough string at the end of this one. I think it's going to be fine, but I could have left myself a little more there, and that would have looked good too. But this will be fine. This bow wants to kind of set it a little bit of an angle. I think I'm going to let it, because sometimes I think you just need to let them do what they want to do. Now I could slide the whole thing over a little bit if I wanted to. Okay. And I'm going to put some foam squares underneath here, because now I've got that cord going under there, and see how it's kind of leaves that a little bit wonky. So I'm just going to pick this up, put some foam squares on it, and then it's going to sit nice and flat and allow that cord to go underneath. Okay. There we go. And we're going to put this down. There we go. And we're going to put a couple more foam squares here in the middle, across the bottom, just about an inch apart. That's a pretty good sized topper. It needs to be supported. There we go. So I got what, about a dozen, 12, 14 in total on here. You got lots of in your kit, so you're good to go. Okay. I'm sure you're going to really enjoy your independence now, Annette. I love that that's happening for you, my friend. And it's going to be so good for you and James to be back together. My goodness, what a difficult thing that has to have been. Okay. All right. So I'm going to position my bunny over the top here. I keep fighting with that string a little bit. It's going to do what it's going to do, so I'm not going to worry a whole lot about it. Maybe if I twist it just a little bit, though, it will like its position better. There we go. I think that's going to be better. There we go. I had to turn it upside down, just let that go where it wanted. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little jewels and put in the corners. So we got one. I got more glue than I know what to do with. It's feast or famine, isn't it? I left this glue bottle open, so we'll see if it'll let me put... Oh, yeah. It's more than ready to run. This time I'm putting the little jewels right in this concave area, because I think that looks good. So we're going to drop one there. This is supposed to be this size. This is supposed to be the next size up. I used the larger ones for this one. So let's get, and I wanted to use the same ones because I want to make sure I have enough to get the job done. There's 3 different kinds of jewels in here. There are these golden ones. Then there's some metallic kind of foiled ones. And then there's the little ones. The metallic foiled ones have a specific job. They're on the cow, and that's because it's on a background sheet that has a lot of foiling on it. So I wanted the foiled ones there. But I'm using the larger ones here on the corners because I think they look good on these corners. Kind of finish it off nicely.
Sharma says she uses craft foam to lift up her large toppers.
Oh, that works. Why not? That's great. That's a good idea. Very inexpensive way to go too. Smart. Our crafters are so smart.
Brenda's celebrating their 42nd anniversary next week.
Oh my gosh, Brenda. Well, congratulations. That's wonderful. There's our hair. Whoops, nope. Got one more job to do. Where did his tag go? Got to put his tag in. You are the greatest. Let's get that on there with some foam scores. Note how you wouldn't even notice this if I didn't tell you until you go to put yours together. But see how the tag hangs just a little bit off the side? That's okay. We're hanging it a little bit off the side of the topper. Doesn't go off the side of the card, of course, but just a little off the side of the topper, which is fine. But you do have to position your foam squares back far enough to allow you to do that, which I think we have. That's wonderful. Congratulations on 42 years. That's great. Okay. There we go. There's our bunnies. We're down. We're 25% of the way through. What time is it, honey?
3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, we got started, went through our kits and stuff, so I think we're positioning to be at about probably 8 cards done by 3, or excuse me, by 4. And we should be able to finish by 5 easily. If we're not done by 5, then I will just walk you through the last couple cards, but I'm pretty sure we'll be done because we're moving right along here. We're doing great. I'm going to layer up my bunny. I like this next card a lot. I think it's really sweet. I messed up though. I see. I'll show you what I messed up on. I just had Bryce go through and layer all those cards. I may just use an extra piece of mirror board, but don't you guys mess up and do the same thing I did. I had Bryce go through and layer all these cards for me, and this one needed the cord wrapped around the mirror board. So I think what I'll do is just use an extra piece of mirror board and alert you not to make the same mistake I made. One of my jewels has slipped a little on my card here, so I took it off and I'm putting it back on where it belongs. Just slipped a little out of place. In fact, this one did too. Don't know what I did to this poor sample card, but I slid them off a little bit, so I'm going to put the jewels back where they belong. And yeah, I think I'll just use an extra piece of A6. Can you grab me an extra A6, hon? Please. So yeah, don't layer up all your cards in advance, because this one didn't want that and I did it anyway. So oops. That's what I get when I try to get time efficient. Sometimes I mess up. Oh well. Did you give me back your extras?
They're all right here in the corner.
Okay. So there we go. All right, I'm going to use one of these. It's in the top drawer. Left. Go left. Right there.
You want Mary?
Yeah, one extra of these. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Because I'm going to use an extra one on this card. Okay, I do need to make sure that I have it cut precisely to the size of my card. Thank you. Otherwise, I'm going to come up short one because I'm using an extra because I'm going to go over the top of this. So I'm going to measure my card and I'm going to cut my Mary precisely to the right size because normally I would never do that because I like going the easy route. But see how the background paper itself isn't heavy enough to support the mirror board or to support this cord running around it. So instead, I went ahead and covered my card, and then I wrapped my cord around the mirror board and the layering sheet there. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So I want to cut this piece of mirror board to the same size as my card, which is 4 and just a tad over an 1/8 by 5 7/8. So I'm going to cut this piece 4, and I'm going to go just a little over an 1/8 by 5 7/8. Even though these mirror boards are called an A6 to allow you a little positioning room, that's going to be a perfect fit. So I'm going to quickly compensate for my error. You do not have to layer mirror board on your cards. I just messed up a little. And we don't get shook about things like that. We just move on. This time I'm using that background sheet that has the beautiful fir boughs on blue or pine. I'm not sure. Pine, I guess it is. The pine boughs. And I'm going to want a piece that will layer on a standard card size. So once again, it's going to be 3 7/8, since I know that my card is 4 1/8. And my layering mat then will be 5 5/8. Let's see how this fits nicely. Very nicely. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Then I'm going to wrap my cord around it. And get my tape here for layering. Gotta have a little drink here. That's good. Okie dokie. I'm going to create some tape flags here. Pull this just a little to the side. Expose just a little adhesive. Pull it to the side. Layer this up on the single piece of mirror board. And I want to get it right where I want it. If it doesn't fit right where I want it, this tape flags allow me to lift it a little bit. Then I set it down when I got it right where I want it. I can tap that adhesive in to help me hold it and pull my flags out. Okay. Next up, we're going to wind our cord around. And I want 3 layers of cord. Now, the happy birthday is in the middle. I really don't want the knot underneath, so I'm going to let the knot be underneath my card. So my tail for tying off is going to be on the back. And I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, 3 times. Come back here. It doesn't need to be a bow back here because nobody's going to see it. That's going to be on the back. So I'm just going to tie a little knot there. Just a little overhand knot, square knot. Down. Hold that. Tie it again. Get my big fingers out of the way and show you what I'm doing, but I can't. I don't even have to trim that off unless I want to because it's all in the back. And I've got these nice pretty lines. I like that. I like where it's positioned. Move it down just a little. I want it to be maybe an inch from the bottom. I'm going to put my happy birthday on some foam squares and kind of straddle that line we've just created. So I'll put my foam squares way out to the edges. What are they talking about with a hummingbird cake? Tell me what that is.
They were talking carrot cake earlier.
Oh, I see banana bread too. I see Mary R. hanging her head in shame. She must have been the one who raised the sweet tooth issues.
Did after having carrot cake.
Not yet, soon what?
They asked if the carrot cake recipe was posted on.
Oh, no, he needs to do that because that's really good carrot cake. I mean to tell you, he has it going on, or his dad really is his recipe, has it going on with that carrot cake recipe. It's just too good. Okay, I'm going to put my topper on some foam squares. And I should have tied my bow in advance and let my best glue start drying, but I was remiss. I actually think that bow with this cotton baker's twine would probably glue really well with regular glue. I may just try that. It'd be better probably with best glue, but I may just glue it on for the sake of time. And you're never going to go wrong with best glue ever when it comes to putting fabric things down. But I think I'll just maybe try just regular glue. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this down about, I'm gonna say 3, it's gonna fit like 3/8 in from the top and each side, and that will still allow some nice room in the middle for our bunny bow. We're gonna put some small rhinestones on this time, one in each corner. I just like to do this when I see these concaves. That's what I think of when I see these concave areas, is sticking a gemstone there. You know how you kind of get into the habit of doing things and then it would bother you not to do it. That's how I am with these concaves and putting gems there. It doesn't have to be a gem. It can be, a little holographic circle, a little dazzle sort of thing, but it needs something there. Because it's like it says, put embellishment here. Okay, we need his little bow now. I'll get my little bow maker out here. I used green on my wraparound, so I want to use green on my bow. And I'm going to tie, it's going to be a small one. I think this will get tied at about 3, maybe. Let's see what I put it on to get that size. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it on about 3. That's going to give me a nice little, not too wide bow. And it looks like I used about 4 rotations just to get it full enough. So 3, 3, 3, 3. Looking at that, wondering if I used 4. I'm going to do 4. Because it looked a little too narrow still. I'm going to use number 4. Let's see how that works out. Don't be surprised to hear me say, nope, back to 3. Such is my life when I'm crafting. I have these long conversations with myself. Margie used to give me a hard time about it. You know, she doesn't anymore because when we're crafting together, she talks to herself continually now. She says it's a bad habit that she gained from me. I don't know. I think maybe she was in denial. Self-talk denial. I think I helped her recognize herself. All right. I'm going to tie off this bow. Get it nice and tight in the middle. Well, it's still on the comb. Let's get it nice and tight. Pull that off. Arrange the strings so they come down the bottom. I'm going to clip this already just a bit. Baker's twine is tough. Yeah, it was a number 4 bow. For those of you who may have been on the edge of your chairs wondering about the dimensions of that bow, it was in fact a number 4. And I'm going to glue right over that knot on this one. Since I have so many loops there, I'm going to put a pretty hefty amount of glue right there on the back of that and really kind of adheres all those fibers together. And I'm going to stick it right here at the bottom of Mr. Bunny. That's cute. That is so cute. How cute that is. How cute it is. I'm going to let this sit for a minute, and then I'm going to put some foam squares on the bottom and attach it to this card. But because I have a couple of softly glued things that haven't really adhesed yet, I'm going to set that off to the side and bring that back in a minute when that glue has a chance to set. Get rid of my junk, and let's move to our next batch of cards. We've done our bunnies. Well, we've done the 2 bunnies off the topper sheet. Let's see what's next in our stack. Move him over here. And let's see what's next. How about we do some Highland Cows? I have this one. Oh, and this has a nice big topper sheet. So let's look at our let's look at our paper pad to see what else is on his sheet. Yeah, there aren't a lot of cows on this sheet. There's just the one of these. And then we'll use the paper one also, because this one's pretty big. So we're going to pop him out. The foiling and the die cutting on these is really, really good. This is just a quality made kit. I keep saying that, but it's surprisingly good for a magazine kit. Really good. I haven't tried the birds and some of the others that you guys have gotten from this Papercraft Essentials. What did you think of like the robins and stuff? Were they the same quality as we're talking about with these? Okay. Once again with the Highland Cows, we're going to use that 5x5. And once again, while I love my white border, I'm not going to cut the card down, or I'm not going to cut the background material down to allow that white border to show. I'm using a true 5x5. This was 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So this is going to be all foiled, what shows, if that makes sense. Because my card base is slightly smaller. So we're going to go straight on with the 5x5 and then go right to our layering material. Okay. I love these Highland Cows. They're just so cute. I loved the ones they had in the Hunky Dory Christmas kit last year. Weren't those fun? Where we put the little Nouveau drops on the lights on their antlers. They were too sweet. Okay. I'll rub my tape down. Ooh. Lasagna, garlic bread, and salad. That sounds like a solid dinner right there, Roberta. Yum. Enjoy. Okay, good to know, Mary R. Well, I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this kit. I just gotta say, it's really nice. Okay, I got that off just a tiny bit. So I'm going to trim just ever so slightly. I mean, like a 30-second little slab off of here. Once again, good paper cutter. I'll let you do that. Okay, a little trimming to do on the top. Okay, we'll take that off. Now we're going to get that really beautifully foiled burgundy out of here. Boy, I love that paper. That's beautiful. That is just a gorgeous sheet of paper right there. And it's going to be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay.
Mary R asked if I had another favorite, but I don't know what.
Another favorite recipe, maybe?
I don't know. We're talking a lot about food.
It's dinner time all over the country. There we go. That looks great.
Maria asked, "Is this kit
Hi, Maria.
available?"
Yes.
I ordered the Christmas cards with Highland Cattle, but didn't see this.
I'll send her a link. Yes, it is. We'll send you a link here momentarily so you can just click on it and go get this kit if you want it. It's beautiful. Really, really fun. Yeah, you got to send Mary your recipe for lasagnas, what you ought to do. Show her how to do this. Well, then tell her about the easy cook way to make lasagna. because she's saying she doesn't cook lasagna. She puts things in the crock pot, but you could tell her the really easy way to make lasagna. Bryce makes great lasagna, and it's pretty fast and easy the way he does it. And I got that off just a little, but I'm going to go with it because it's ever so slight. Oh, that's beautiful together. Look at that paper. Oh, so pretty. So very pretty. This is such an easy card, but it just speaks to me. I love this one. Okay. Get a few of these foam squares here. Showing up for dinner next weekend? Okay, you let us know when you'll be in town. Tell them how you can't just tell them, even if I'll tell them wrong. You can make an easy lasagna by having shredded mozzarella cheese, Prego sauce, seasoned ground beef, and uncooked lasagna noodles. Is there a special brand or anything? There isn't, right? It's just regular dry lasagna noodles.
Regular noodles,
Not the
fake and bake.
not the what?
I say fake and bake.
Fake and bake, not the fake and bake ones. Regular lasagna noodles. See, he should just tell you because I'm telling you things that I don't do, but he does. So you put some nonstick spray in the bottom of your pan, and then you put down a layer of Prego and a layer of your seasoned ground beef, just light. No, just you don't put it on the bottom. Oh, he doesn't put the ground beef on the bottom, just a layer of Prego. Just a very light layer, just enough to cover your pan, right? On the bottom layer? Just a little bit, yeah. And then you put down your lasagna noodles. Then you put on a light layer. You don't need real super thick layers of stuff, of your meat. Your noodles, then your meat, your uncooked noodles, by the way, uncooked noodles, and a layer of meat, a layer of cheese, then some sauce on those. So one layer of each, then another layer of lasagna. Yeah, and how many layers deep do you go? Three? 3 layers deep, one layer of each. And yeah, right out of the package, Mary R. And then you put it in the oven. You tent it, cover it with foil.
Make sure your foil is high enough off.
Okay, make sure that your foil is high off of the lasagna. Put toothpicks through it to hold the foil up off of the top of the lasagna, because you don't want the foil sagging down into your cheese. You know, when you finish it off, you're finishing it off with a layer of cheese across the top. And then you cover it with foil with those toothpicks under the foil just to hold that foil up and keep it tented over the top. You put it in the oven at what, 350?
375 for an hour.
375 for an hour, the master says.
Take the foil off for 10 more minutes.
Okay, you hearing that, guys? Take the foil off for 10 minutes.
Let it rest take it out of the oven, let it rest for 20 minutes or so.
Take it out of the oven, let it rest for 20 minutes or so before you cut it. And it will be absolutely delectable. Yes, we do cook the ground beef and season it before you put it in the lasagna. Just salt and pepper. Anything else added to the ground beef?
I have basil.
Oh, he adds a little basil to his. And if they want to put some a little garlic, a little basil, maybe in your ground beef, dried basil, and then if they want to add some spinach to the lasagna, do they just layer a few spinach leaves in, or do you have to change anything if you do that?
Well, I don't normally do spinach, but
Oh, you don't? You have put it in there before.
I've only done it a couple times.
Okay.
It's not my recipe.
So that's not his favorite thing to do, I guess. So I think if you put spinach in, you'd have a little more moisture, right?
The noodles should.
The noodles would pretty much suck it up. Yeah.
If you do fresh spinach.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
If you do frozen spinach, you have to make sure that you really squeeze the water out.
Okay. Can you guys hear all that? He's not being cooperative, but he's correcting me, so I guess that's useful. So, can you still have that link probably on your V key? Would you just post that link again? They're talking about where to get this again. Or somebody else. I love this kit, guys. It's a good one. Of course, when have you heard me say I didn't love what I was working on? I don't bring them to you unless I like them. There's very few I don't like when I'm done because, I just keep working until I get something I like. This one was not difficult to do that. Everything just turned out really nicely because when you have great materials to work with, it's easy to create beautiful things. Okay, we put our tag on between his antlers. We're going to put some little, you see where we have these little concaves right here, just here and here and here. I'm going to put a gem right in between those little concaves there. And this time I'm going to use the foiled ones. You'll have foiled gems in your kit. And that's what I'm going to use this time is the foiled gems for this little bit here because they're really pretty with this foiling in the paper. So pick those out. I should have 4 foiled ones in here. There they are. They really look good with this foiling. Oh, I'm sure you can, Teresa. If you just made it, there's nobody filling orders on Saturday. So you are in good shape to get those orders combined. Whoops. Uh-oh, just stuck my finger in the glue. That wasn't useful. Since it's on foiled paper, I'm actually going to clean that up with a baby wipe because I don't want it to show where I just stuck my finger in it. If it was regular paper, I wouldn't worry because it wouldn't show, but it might show on the foiling. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to dry it off just a little bit there. There we go. Now, it's like I never did it. Okay. There we go. There it is. The gem I was placing. I'll put that down. And I'll put this one down. And there we go. There's our Highland cow. World's best dad. Perfect, Mary. Thank you for guiding her through that. Yes, and if you have double page shipping, we will. Yeah, I did it there again. I'm just bound and determined to have a glue mess on this one corner. Yes, if you have double paid shipping, we will refund one when we process your order. However, if the two orders combined exceed the $69 minimum, we'll actually take all the shipping off. There we go. There's our Highland cow and our original inspiration one. So yeah, we don't lose much with the white border. I actually think I prefer the one without the white border now that I see it. I thought we were losing something, but we really don't. Okay, there we go. Make sure anytime that you're choosing local Tigard pickup that you actually have paid a shipping fee unless it is going to be over $69 combined. But if it's going to be over $69 combined and you know, over $69 combined, or if you've already paid one shipping fee, you do not have to pay another one. We will take care of you because we like to do that. That's the kind of thing we want people to do for us. So we do it for you. Okay, let's get our other Highland cow done here. We've got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Highland cow on the red paper. Let's pull him out. Okay, let's get one of our DL cards out here. Here's where we're going next. Isn't it cute? I love that. We're going to use a scrap of our paper on this one where we were cutting before. See, we have this nice little piece we cut off. Well, we're going to use that on this card. We're going to trim it down just a bit more and put another piece of Mary behind it. And that's just going to be cute as all get out. Make sure I know which one's the narrower of the two. Yeah, this one will work just fine. And then that leaves me with a nice piece there left over from the other one. Okay. We're going to go to 3 3/4 wide with this Highland cow paper. We're going to get one of our DL cards that my sweet hubby covered for us. That's going to look just right there. So let's go ahead and put that down. Thank you, Mary R., for reminding everybody to do a thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. It makes me feel good. This is a great kit to share, Maria, because you're going to get enough to make 24 cards in this one kit. It's a great one for sharing. It'd be a really good one for working together on. I should have kept the tape flag there because this is a narrow little border I'm using and a long span. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this on here. See how that looks all the way around. I'm liking it. Tap down here a little bit where our tape is exposed. Hold it with your hand. Pull that tape out. There we go. That's looking good. All right. We're going to get one of our extra pieces of mirror board. And I'm going to go to about, let's see, this was 3 3/4. I want to leave a 1/2 inch, so 3 1/4. I'm going to go to 3 1/4. If you were crafting together, you could cheat and actually get 2 of these Mary toppers by just cutting this 6 inch or 5 and no, it's 6 inches wide. You could cheat and get 2. I'm going to use 3 1/4, I think, but you could easily trim that down to 3 and get both you and your crafting partner's pieces out of one piece of this Mary. So let's do, I'm going to do 3 1/4 and try it. But 3 would work. 3 would work. I think 3 is about what I used here. And then I'm going to trim this up just a bit. I'm going to come up another, put that down just a little over. I'm going to take another 1/4 off of this. It's currently 3 and no, it's 4 and 3/8 wide. I'm going to make it 4 1/8. That's not right. Yes, it is 4 1/8. So my piece I'm cutting here is 4 1/8 by 3 1/4. And that looks really good there. Now I want this to be 1/4 inch smaller than that on my dimensions. This is going to be 3 inches wide by, it was 4 1/8. So I'm going to do 3 3/8 or 3 7/8. And that's going to fit there just perfectly. All right. We're going to put our tape down. Yes, 3 7/8 wide, we think. And I'm going to layer this onto this piece of Mary I've cut. That's looking pretty good. I'll pull our tape flags out there. Now we've got that pretty layering piece done. We're going to get our, where did I get that one? To a Wonderful Husband. I've taken that off a different sheet. I got to go find which one I took. And the little square of, I got to figure out which one I took that off of. We'll bring this card back and finish it next. Okay. Let's see where we got that. I need the square pine cones. There's the square pine cones. Is that it? That could be it. Yes, that has to be it. Okay, so I'm going to take the square pine cones off of here. Oh, they're both off of here. And To My Wonderful Husband off of here. And we're going to tie ourselves just a little bow, just a tiny bow, just a little accent, because I thought that looked just a little bit too uniform. I wanted to break it up with something soft. So I'm going to get my darker baker's twine. I'm going to tie a little bow. I don't know if any of you guys have the, what's the neighborhood app called, honey? The
Next door.
Next Door. But that's a great place to post for crafting friends. That's a really good place. The other thing to look for is look for meetups in your area. Try meetup.com and look and see what kind of crafting groups are already out there. You may be surprised to find out there are already crafting groups meeting in your area, and some of them are starting up again. We're going to start up ours again before too long. Did you guys see how I tied that bow? Now, you guys, most of you will know this already, but for the sake of anybody who doesn't, look how easy it is to just tie just a tiny loopy, little single loop bow with baker's twine. Make rabbit ears, okay? Just kind of hold them apart. Make rabbit ears, the one over the other, and back through the hole between them, okay? And pull, and you can get a little loopy, a single loop bow, really easy. Just put one rabbit ear in each finger and then wrap one over the other and come through the hole. Simple, simple little loopy bow. Okay.
Kathy got her Aurora Borealis gems and loves them.
Oh, good. Excellent. I like those too. I think they're beautiful. I love working with AB gems. They just catch all the color. Grandpa can come with Ted if necessary. He can chaperone. It was so sweet. What night before, was it last night or night before? Night before last, that Margie was here very late. We were crafting late into the night. And when we went in the house, Teddy could hear somebody outside. So, of course, being the diligent little watchdog that he is, he was barking and barking to alert the whole household that someone was outside leaving. And I don't like the way my bow turned out. I'm going to try it again. I liked the first one, but I untied it to show you, and then I didn't like the second one. I'm going to do it again. Anyway, Bob came out of his bedroom shortly after I came in the house, and he was still getting dressed as he walked into the living room. And he said, "Do you need help catching the dog?" And I said, "What?" He said, "I heard the dog barking outside." I said, "Oh, the dog's not outside, Dad. He's in with Bryce." And he said, "Oh, I heard him barking and I thought he was outside. I thought we lost the dog and I was getting up to help find him." It was really sweet. He just loves that dog. Oh my gosh, he loves that dog. They are like inseparable, the two of them. If Teddy's inside and well, the weather's gotten nice, Bob likes to go out and sit on the lawn furniture and on the deck and just soak up some rays. And Teddy is just beside himself if Grandpa goes outside without him. So he'll whine and bark until I open the door, and then he'll run out and jump right at Bob, land in the middle of him, and wake him up. Because he has to do it. It's his job to wake up Grandpa. Bob can be sitting and snoozing and watching TV. Ted will jump up into the chair, jump up onto the back of the chair, and then start easing down over the back and get to where he can reach Bob's ears, and he'll start licking his ears and kind of sliding down the front of him. If he doesn't pay attention, pretty soon his face is next. He's going to get washed till he wakes him up. It's pretty fun. Oh, he loves waking up his grandpa. He loves everything about his grandpa, though. Bob is so attentive with him. You know, he either has that dog, is looking for that dog, or is playing with or feeding that dog every hour of every day. That dog is on his mind constantly. He loves that dog. Of course, Teddy gives us a lot to love, really. Okay, I'm gonna just glue this on here. If you have your best glue handy, that would probably be the best of all worlds, but I'm just cheating. I do think this glue will hold well to this cotton thread, the baker's twine, but best glue is still probably your best bet for anything fabric. Okay, I'm going to put my 3 little dots down the side. I'm going to put 3 of our gems on. Sometimes it's useful to put the first and last one on first, then put the one in the middle, because if you need to adjust any, it's easy. There we go. We have a little, oops, nope, we don't. We gotta, I don't know why I didn't put that up on some more foam. Nah, I think it's glued flat is good. I'm gonna glue this flat like I did originally. It looked pretty good there. And just center that. It will almost touch the horns of the cow. And there we go. There's our Highland Cow card. What you guys should do is meet up live and then sign in for the broadcast and craft with each other. That's what you should do. I don't think I'm going to get to Arizona anytime in the near future, but you guys could craft live together. Okay, let's bring this rabbit card back in. All that's left to do with this rabbit card, I just wanted to let it dry a little because I had a lot of glue and process there. I'm going to just put some foam squares on the back. And normally this card would be white, right? I wasted a piece of Mary because I had all the cards covered, and I could have used a blank one, but I'm just kind of pretending that my kit is all that I had. And working with, for the most part, with what I have. I guess it doesn't matter if I add a piece of mirror board or I add a card. Either way, it's going to be. Anyway, I'm just putting this, going to put foam squares on around that cord. It needs to set up a little bit because that cord is bulky enough that you're going to have a funny little bump in your card if you don't put foam squares under it. But it will look great if it's all uniform and sitting up on foam squares. So that's why we're doing this. Okay. Hi, Adeline. Don't know if I said hi earlier, but hello. Moving through a lot of cards today, so if I'm not quite as social as I am normally, please forgive me, guys, because I'm just trying to see if I can get you through all 12 of these if we can in the time allotted. If we can't get through them all, I can certainly tell you what I did, but it's more fun if we can finish them. So now our rabbit's done, Let me show you the rabbit from the side. See, you can see that it's raised just a little bit, but it doesn't interfere with the look of the card at all to have it slightly raised from the card base. See that? And then this is all nice and you don't have any of that bulkiness underneath. There we go. All right, that one's done. All right, let's see. Are we done? We're pretty much done. We have a couple pieces left here on that one, but let's just keep going through. It looks like what? Well, this one's kind of made using pieces. So maybe we should just jump in and do this one quickly, because this is off our cow topper too. We have this piece left. We have on our cow topper sheet, we have this piece. And we have To My Special Friend. So let's pop those off. Let's keep trying to clean up these foam squares. My floor looks great in here for a change. I usually have little die cutting bits everywhere, and we just went through and just really cleaned a house. So I'm trying to keep all my little bits off the floor. Okay, let's see. Get one of my covered cards. Thank you again, honey. Get one of our, you also need an extra piece of Mary for this little process here. We need to go back to our book and we need to find this light plaid. I think actually, no, yeah, did I? Yeah, I took this light piece of plaid off the top of the fox one. So I left the fox going this way, and then I took the top piece of this to create my layering for this one. So I know that this card is 4 1/8, so this is going to be 3 7/8 inch wide. Perfect. Oh, that's actually a little bit there. Oh, that's because I didn't cut my card down yet. Oops. Honey covered them for me, but he always leaves it to me to trim them, which is absolutely great. I just appreciate having them covered, and that's why it looked wide. So I'm just going to trim off my edges of my Mary a little bit here. There we go. Now I bet it looks good. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It's just right. Imagine. Okay, I want my burgundy paper to be 2 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to take this and make it 2 1/4. That seems narrow. It's probably just right. I'm just being weird. 2 1/4 inches wide. And I'm going to cut this then to be 2 1/2 inches wide. It's fun how you can layer. It's fun how you can layer different papers and you just get such a pretty feel. Now this time, instead of centering this paper right, dropping it down, just for interest, I brought it clear to the ends of my layering piece, and what I did is I just put it on top here. I didn't go clear to the edge of the card. So I still have that gold mirror all around, and I let this mirror kind of meet up. I just want to show you how I did this. I just kind of let the the layering pieces kind of meet up with the outside border. And it looks good this way. See there? That's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. Let's see. I need to cut this one to 5 5/8 inch long. Oh, I cut it just a tad, just a tiny bit more. So it's going to be just a tad under 5 5/8 to be perfect on my card, which means these are going to be just a tad under 5 5/8 also. Just a tiny bit, maybe a 1/16 under 5 5/8. There we go. We've got those. Now we just got to assemble. Let's get our bow tied, and I do want to put best glue on the satin ribbon. Here it is. Temporarily lost my bow maker there and my paper stack. How you could have this little stuff on your desk and still lose things is beyond me. Okay, it looks like I tied a pretty small bow here. I'm gonna try, let's try a 4 and see if that's gonna be the right width. Yes, it is. 4 is just the right width for that. So I'm gonna tie a double. Looks like I overestimated the satin again, but this is going to give you enough to do both of these cards if you want to. Maria, you're going to be in good shape when it comes to sharing this kit with your friend, working together on this. It's going to be fun. And you're going to have a few extra supplies to share too. I don't have these gems loose in the store, but I do have some adhesive back golden ones from Hunky Dory available if you need gems to contribute to your kit. I don't know if anybody noticed our newsletter today, but I went out and ordered my Betty Gozzle book. It looks really interesting, Betty. I can't wait to get it and read it. Didn't I see she was here? No, she's not here. She's at the book signing today. I sent you a link to Betty's book on Amazon in the newsletter. Hi, Janet. Welcome, friend. Welcome, welcome. Love to see you there. Okay. We're still working on our Highland Animals kit from issue 190 of Papercraft Essentials. We've built a kit around that. And there's links in this chat session to that kit. This is looking good, guys. We're about ready to run with this. What did I do with that topper? Did I knock it off on the floor with, nope, there it is. Thought maybe I knocked it off on the floor with my arm. We're just about ready to start attaching stuff here. That is looking good. All right, so I'm going to put a little best glue ever on here. I know that all of our regulars know how much I love the best glue ever, but for anybody else who might be watching, we are going to use the best glue ever because best glue ever goes on in liquid form and dries into a glue dot. It is the best adhesive there is for things that are fabric, because it gets down into the fibers and holds, and then you never have trouble with the glue dot holding to your card. What you notice with glue dots is they have a tendency to let go of fabric things. Let the fabric things or anything that's really fibrous kind of falls off over time with the glue dot. Well, if you use the best glue ever on fabric things, it gets down into those fibers and really holds. That's why I love it. Okay. So let's get this first plaid piece attached down here. We are moving right through here, guys. I don't even know what number we're on, but I know that it looks like I have 5, maybe 5 left on my desk. So we are moving right through. We are card making machines today. But they still have that beautiful personal touch of something that you've made and spent your time on yourself to create something of beauty for people you care about. That's why a homemade card is so important, I think, to people. Now, I don't like the way this went on, even though I tape flagged it, but I'm going to leave it because sometimes you're better off leaving it alone than you are in tearing up your paper. And if it's a tiny, tiny bit out of sync, you are the only one that's going to notice that. It's not bad. It's just a little low in one corner. You guys are chatting machines today. Bryce says you're super chatty today. We're doing a lot of layering today, but I'm not giving you anything real complicated. So it's a good day to have nice chats and catch up. And most of you don't have your kits in hand yet, so it's not like you're trying to race along with me. Easel next after this one, we can do that. We'll do both pheasant cards next, so the easel will be next, Mary R. Okay. I'm kind of feeling like if we're going to do Teddy Cam, we want to probably do that soon if you want to retrieve him. Yeah, I think it'd be a good time to do it because I've taken them through 7 cards now and they may need a little break from watching me do things. And oh, is he here? Teddy's here. Teddy just came in with Lauren. I thought you were talking about your daughter being a little devil.
Too, but okay.
Teddy, where are you? You need to keep tabs on him because he probably hasn't gone out.
Teddy, where are you, Jesus?
One of Teddy's favorite games is that he likes to run from you when you say you're going to get him. Oh my gosh, he will run and just go crazy. One of these days I'm going to get a video of that. He runs figure 8s over the furniture and just goes crazy. Yes, our mascot, Teddy. Margie had a great idea. We actually have a surplus of cards right now in the shop, more than I'm going to need for my Christmas boxes. And Margie had a great idea that we should put cards into new customer boxes. You know, the first time people order from us with a little letter, we'll just give them a blank card, but we're going to put it sleeve it up nicely and put a little letter inside from us, from the team, to just say who we are and what we do and what makes us special, and thank them for ordering from us, and tell them about our videos and classes and that kind of thing. And so when we sign that letter, we're all going to sign the letter personally, and then I'm going to photocopy them. Of course, I'm not going to make everybody sign, 1,000 letters, but we'll photocopy them after everybody signed them. But I signed it for Teddy with a footprint, because if they're going to work with us, they might as well learn who our pal is, right? Right off the bat. If you're going to meet the team, you got to meet Ted. Put some foam squares on the back of that one. I'm going to put some foam squares on this one. I'm going to bring it up just enough to allow me to put my stones in the corners, and my bow is coming down just far enough to allow me to put my bow over the top of that pine cone. This would be a beautiful Christmas card. Wouldn't have to be Christmas card. It's pine cones. It can be any time of the year, but it's beautiful. And this does not have to be a masculine card. Kind of cheated on this one. All of these I think are suitable for masculine cards, and even this one. But this one's a little more iffy because of the satin bow on it. Although I do put satin bows sometimes on my masculine cards, and they look great. I tend to use a little darker colors when I know it's going to be for a guy, though. Okay, let's put some rhinestones on here. You guys, you're over there chatting with rude to our people. Talk loud enough they can hear you, or move the conversation, please. Like having people whisper in front of you. All right. Now, I can tell that my bow is not quite ready yet, because when you're using the best glue ever, you want it to dry to clear. See that little bit of white that's left on there? That tells me that still wants to dry a minute. So I'm going to set this one aside. It's done except for the bow, but you can sure see what the bow adds, can't you? We're going to set that one aside just for a minute, and let's do some Teddy Cam. Teddy Cam. Is Teddy coming to see everybody? Hi, Ted. Hey, Teddy. He's got that look about him like he's been sleeping. You got that sleepy puppy look going there. It's warm outside, though, so. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Can you sit down? Sit down nicely. Oh, Daddy gonna put the camera up on you so you can see everybody. Everybody can see you. There he is. There he is. Hi, Teddy. Hi, Ted. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey, sit, please, and I'll get you a PB Nana treat. Here. Oh, you gotta sit. You have to sit. Yes. Yes. You want one of these PB Nanas? Oh, yes. He said, I'd have one of those. Yes, I love my peanut butter banana treats. Yes. Oh, he said there's more in that bag. I know it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you can lay down. Can you lay down for me? Down? Yes. Oh, you such a good boy. You're such a good boy. If he said, if I stand up, will you give me another one to sit down again? Will you give me yet another one to sit down? You probably are not showing your best angle there. Yeah, you're not showing your best angle there. Oh, boy. He said, oh, yes, I do love my PB Nanas. I do love my PB nanas. Okay. Thanks for stopping by to say hi. Go down. There's my buddy. Thank you. There's our teddy cam. Okay, let's get back to it. We've had a request to do the easel. Next to the easel, she says, let's do the easel card. All right, we're going to do the pheasants next. All the pheasants. Teddy's PB Nana sealed up. All right, go back to our book. Let's get our pheasant. We need this one. Do we need this one? Maybe. Oh, yeah. No, that's the topper. Never mind. I need to go back here. Get this one. Let's get this one. And I used some of this one that I used before. And I used some blue. Yep. Some of this blue that we used before. Hey, Thelma. Welcome, friend. And we're going to use the fern paper from the back of this book. It's not really fern, little vines. Little vines. There we go. I think that's it from the book. Okay. While we were teddy camming, our glue got dry. My tail got stuck in the glue, so let's see if we can get that to let go. There we go. Let's put this nice bow down on our card. Get it off of my trimmer. And there we go. There's these two done. Okay. All right. It looks like we have two, after this, we have two foxes and then a combination animal card to do. We are just moving right through. Okay. Let's see. We're going to get our last of our 5x5 cards here. We are going to fold our card. Now we're going to take one flap of this card and we are going to fold this back to the line. Back to the fold line. Just through my scoring tool over there. I can do it with my thumbnail. No problem. That's why I don't have much in the way of fingernails, because I do these things. Okay, we've just created our base for our easel. So easy to do. Okay, now we are going to cover, in this case, I literally just covered each panel separately. See that? You can see the white just a little bit in between. It actually looks good. So I'm going to cover the back side of this panel with this pine paper. So let's put our tape lines down. And another tape line down. And even when we're making a specialty card like this, we are still going to just trim around our card to trim up our cardstock. So I'm going to lay this cardstock down right along that. Now watch for your tape going over the edges. If it does, just roll that tape back on itself so you don't have that little stickiness hanging out. And I'm going to lay this right along my fold and right along the edge of my card. I'm going to come in here with my scissors and I'm going to trim this back. Next, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to lay down 2 tape lines. Don't worry if you ever get a little wrinkle like that in your tape. That doesn't matter at all because the tape underneath it is so thin it will just lay down nicely. And you can never tell there was a little ripple in it, so you never worry about that. Okay. I'm going to take my fern paper now. I'm going to lay it right along there, and I'm going to join that right up against my blue paper. And I want it to go right up against there. Lay that down. Trim around it. These colors in this book just go so nicely together. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to take that pheasant topper off of this sheet. I'm going to put that on some foam squares. Pop that right in the middle. It's like a perfect fit for this 5x5. See that? Isn't that nice? I'm going to pop that right in the middle with a few foam squares. This way I gave you a whole sheet of foam squares. Between these cards and the other 12, you will definitely use it. And a couple extra little nibs here I'm going to kind of trim off from where I popped it out of the book, out of the page. There we go. It's not going to take a lot to hold that in place. I just use 6. Because it's not real wide and it's not real long, but it does cover the face of this card beautifully. We're going to pop this in place. Yeah, noisy chair over there, honey. I was noticing we need to put some oil on the hinges to this room because it's gotten quite squeaky when people come in and out, hasn't it?
It's always been squeaky.
It's never been this squeaky, though, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to pop the bigger pheasant out of our layering elements here. And I'm going to put some foam squares on him and put him right on top there. Okay, what are we talking about?
Parent has been battling a leak in their house.
Oh, icky. Leaks are the worst.
For her to have to deal with, so she's been dealing with buckets of
Not fun. Oh man, we had that flood in January. I'm telling you, that was a lot of work. A lot of work. I'm so pleased that we didn't lose any products. We didn't get any smelliness. Nothing, despite that big old flood. But leaks are the worst. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Okay. We're going to pop this right on top here, which does an amazing amount to give that extra dimension. It's like that pheasant really just kind of pops off the page now because of the extra dimension. Let's see what I put inside here. I used some more of that fern on the inside. So let's get that fern paper back right here. And I'm just going to cover the inside of my card with that. So let's put some dots down, some dots tape down. Tape down. And doesn't look particularly directional. I actually don't think it's directional at all. So I can just use whatever pieces suits my fancy here. I'm gonna go right up against this edge and against the fall blind. And I'm going to trim around that. Wherever you can, if you can use the base of your card as your trimming point, it really saves you a lot of time in measuring and lining things up. Okay, so now I've got this. And if you have this with your easel card and the card is not wanting to kind of come down, all you need to do, guys, is crease this back side a little bit more. Just crease this back, and then it's going to drop right in place. Now, I'm going to, on the inside of this one, I need to look to my pieces. I want to use the happy birthday on the inside. And I'm going to use this rectangle with the feathers on the inside. And I'm going to use two of my big jewels. And we're going to put the Happy Father's Day down flush to the card. I'm using my little narrower tape. I've been using the 1-inch to construct things. I'm really liking this craft style tape, the craft style finger lift. I like the wide one. Not only is it a little bit more forgiving and sometimes will allow you to lift pieces, even though that's not something I strongly recommend doing, you can get a little bit of removability with the 1-inch tape. But I like the coverage too that the 1-inch gives me. So I'm just going to kind of center that side to side and about 1 inch down on the inside to give me room to write in here. And then I'm going to take this, and I happen to have some shaker tape sitting here. If you have it, use a little bit of shaker tape. If you don't have shaker tape, then just use a double layer of your foam squares. Margie buried it all in my, well, maybe. She did such a good job of getting it in there that she kind of hid it from me. There it is. Whew, I had to dig for that. Look there, I had another roll of regular tape in there too. Okay, sorry about that. I had to kind of dig for supply there. I'm going to use a little bit of shaker tape because I like the extra little bit of dimension because this is 3 millimeters high. If you don't have shaker tape for this, just use 2 layers of the foam squares, which will make it 4 millimeters high. But I'm going to put a couple little rows of shaker tape here.
Say good night to Karen.
Good night, Karen. I'm not sure I ever said hello to Karen. Hello, Karen. Goodbye, Karen. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, we're going to peel this tape. And what this is going to do by putting the shaker tape or the foam squares on it is to act as a stopper for your card. You got a decision to make here where you want your card to stand. I'm going to put mine right about here so that it leans back just a little. The higher up you put your stopper, the straighter your card will stand. But I kind of like mine right about there. And then I'm going to put these 2 jewels to the sides of the feathers, here and here.
We can't see. Can you open your card?
Excuse me?
You open your card. We can't see what you're doing.
I just put my jewels here and here, just a little bit off to the sides of the feather. And there's our finished card. Opens up to happy birthday inside. When you close it, it's still visually appealing. The colors look really nice together. So there we go. That's our easel card. How easy was that? Pretty easy, huh? And you know, the more your card gets handled, the easier it drops in place. This one's still a little stiff, but if I crease a little bit along there, crease it along the back, good, it will drop right into place. Okay, there we go. Shaker card, or our easel card. Next, let's do this one. And for this one, we're going to use this little piece of paper we have left here. We're going to use, that's not the one I used on that. Let's see what else I have. I think I'm switching papers a little bit here, but that's okay. I'm switching papers. Yeah, I should have had some of this. Oh, I know what I did here. I think I cheated. Did I? Yeah, I did. I cheated on this one. I was looking at that thinking, that's not enough left. How could I have finished that? Well, I'll tell you what I did. It's one of those little conservation tricks. If you really want a particular paper and you don't have enough, you only have to, you've heard me say this lots of times, you only have to cover what's actually going to show, right? So what I did here was covered my card with my mirror board. And I really like this blue because it has a little ghosted pattern of feathers on it, which really go nicely with this pheasant, I must say. So what I did, I've got this nice long strip, but it's not wide enough, right? I covered my card with my Mary, and then I used half of the strip on one side, half on the other, and I put this on a little piece of Mary in the middle. And nobody would ever know that blue does not go across. So let's do that. Let's use that little conservation tip. You can do the same thing. People have asked me again and again. You always use these solid sheets of Mary across the back. Do I have to use all of that, or can I use like my rectangle dies and just cut a frame to go around my card? Of course you can. I'm making so many cards in these classes that that would not be a reasonable technique for me to try and do that in these classes, but of course you can. You only have to put paper where it's actually going to show. So I'm going to trim off this extra little tab I had on this piece of paper. It's actually 1.5 inches, just a little over 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to cut that extra little tab off. I'm going to move this paper I'm going to cut this paper at about 3/4. Let's see, is that actually? Yeah. So just a little less than 1 inch wide. So I have 2 strips of paper here. I'm going to bring these in to where I would want them to be. I'm going to cut these to 5 5/8 inch, 5 5/8 inches long. Five 5/8 inches long. Okay, there you go. You can give them our email address on here, honey. Don't post your own email addresses here, guys. But if you want me to forward a message for you to somebody else, I'll do that. I just don't want you to put your private email here. Mine's already a business email. It's out there in cyberspace. And it doesn't matter to me that my email is out there because it's going to be out there anyway. But for you, I don't want you to do that because it's just not good policy for you guys to get your email addresses out there. It's just asking for trouble when you don't have to. Okay, my green, actually my gold is going to be 2 3/4 inch wide. So I'm grabbing a piece of mirror board. And I'm going to create a piece of mirror board that is 2 3/4 wide. I'm going to cut this to 5 I actually went all the way top to bottom this time. I'm going to make this 5 5/8 inch long, because that's what I did before. I'm going to go over the top here. Just laying my pieces out to begin with. Since that was 2 3/4, I want my green strip to be 2.5 inches wide. Two and a half inches wide by 5 7/8 inches long. There we go. That's going to look beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now let's get our pheasant. We're going to use this pheasant tag. We're going to use the little dimensional pheasant. We're going to use best wishes. Scissors. I'm going to cut the little nibs on this. Okay. And we're going to use this feathers topper also. Okie dokie. We are going to, let's go ahead and assemble this background. This does not get glued down yet though. Hold on to that. Let's go ahead and put these pieces in place. Get some That tape will work just right. I've got 3 widths of finger lift tape here where I construct my cards. I love that because then I can grab whatever tape suits my fancy for putting these things down. We are a little crazy for crafting, I have to admit. Happy to do it, Mary R. Be sure you tell me in your email, though, who you're wanting me to forward your address to, because I won't know otherwise. Because I've been tuned into all the chat today. So be sure you tell me who you want it sent to. So you can communicate outside of the group. I love to support that for you guys. I think that's great. Okay, I'm going to tape this one down over here. When we do little sneakies like this, where we're, just putting partial paper underneath, it always makes it feel like I'm getting away with something. Maybe kind of like in the movies where they're shooting only the angles you're going to see. So a living room set might just be 1 or 2 walls instead of a room. That's kind of like what we're doing. You only have to worry about what's actually going to show, right? Okay, oh, there we go. Okay, we got our strips down. All right, now I'm gonna put this on my mirror board. Seal it down, then we're gonna wrap our baker's twine around. We don't use a lot of baker's twine in our cards, but I really like the effect of the baker's twine. I think it's really fun what we're getting. And I think I made this 5 5/8. This should have been 5, or 5. I made it 5 7/8. It should have been 5 5/8. So I'm trimming a little edge off of there. This green one, this is 5 7/8, but this should be 5 5/8, so it will layer on there. There we go. Now, I've got that a little close on one edge, but it's okay. If it really bugs me, I could trim my other edges just a little, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, next we're going to take a piece of our twine. I think this is our last twine one, so it does use whichever one you find the most pleasing. And I'm actually going to tie this off in a knot on the back, and I'm going to tie the bow separately. So I'm just going to hold a little space here for tying it off in the back. I'm going to wrap this once, twice, bring it around, tie it. Doesn't matter where I'm tying it in the back because I'm going to put this up on some foam squares, so it won't matter. Nip that off. I like the way the wrapping on these masculine cards, it really does give, this looks more like rope, and it really does add to the masculinity of the cards, I think, to use the baker's twine. Now again, unless those are close to an edge, I don't even have to really trim those ends. I want that right in the middle though. And then I did space them out just a little bit on this card, and I do like that effect. Now, whether that's going to stay spaced out or not, I don't know. But it does look kind of nice to have them spaced out just a little bit. I'm going to put my best wishes on here, straddling over that cord. So I'm going to put my squares out to the edges. Now, how's our time, hon?
4:45, 15 minutes. Finish up.
No. Oh, yeah, it is 3 hours, isn't it? Okay. Well, we got 3 cards left to do. We're doing pretty good. Okay. Lots of layers on some of these cards. It's nice that the card kit was built deluxe enough that we had lots of layers available. And you know what? We might as well use them, right? I did make a mistake here. I put foam squares in the middle. I didn't want that. I want my foam squares straddling that cord, so I just moved them to the edges. And I'm going to put this down about that far. Okay, next we're going to build our pheasant. We're going to put our pheasant right across this one. And we're going to put some foam squares to make him dimensional. Easier to get foam squares with my detail scissors than these little tiny ones. Or these great big scissors, what I meant to say. It's easier with the smaller scissors. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Can't get my mouth wrapped around my words. That would look great. There you are. Okay. Have any of you guys played with your Jamie powders? I keep waiting to hear your stories of Jamie powders. I sure do think you're going to have some fun with that, though. It's great fun. It's great fun. I'm actually going to leave the middle blank, but I'm going to put like 4 foam squares on each side of this pheasant because it's narrow and wide. So I'm going to put foam squares. Still going to straddle the inside, but I'm going to put foam squares. Tore that one up. Let's just add another one here. And put foam squares here. Leave that open area in the middle to straddle that cord we have coming down. And we're going to lower this a little more than, it's not going to be evenly balanced because I want to put that bow above there and let that bow kind of hang down a little bit. I'm going to put this one on below here. That's going to work out just right. And we're going to put the feathers, once again, straddling that cord in the middle. There is some Scotch tape in the drawer over there, honey. Would you grab some for me?
That's Scotch tape behind you.
Where? Scotch tape? There was some on the table, I thought. Oh, yeah, there sure is. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to straddle that cord in the middle. I'm going to tie myself a little bow. Just a little single bow again. Make my rabbit ears. One loop over the other. and then go down through the middle and pull.
Annette asks if you ever go back and read our messages on here.
Do we ever go back and read your messages when from the chat? Yes, sometimes I do. I don't always have time, but I try to go back if I know I'm looking for something in particular. I do. I like it when Margie will often keep me up to date in what you guys are talking about. Bryce, on the other hand, doesn't always necessarily do that. I'm not picking on him. He's great. He does all of this for me just because he loves me. But so if I know I'm looking for something, I definitely will go back and read messages, but I don't always do it. I do read all your emails though. Anything that comes to info. We were talking about whether those cords would stay where they were. I'm just going to put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back to make sure my cords stay spaced out a little bit, because I like that look where there's just a little bit of space between them. So this will help maintain that space between them. Just put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back to hold those. Now I'm going to put this down on here before I put my bow on, for obvious reasons, because I'm going to flip it over and put foam squares on the back. We're going to need foam squares on the back because, of course, we have our cord running around the card. We want to hold it up and off that cord. Yeah, sometimes when I'm doing the emails, I go back and read over a lot of the messages and listen for anything I've promised to link and that kind of thing. So I play the videos back, and sometimes I catch things I didn't catch during the video because I'm working on the cards and stuff, and I can only kind of glance up and see what the conversation at any given point in time is about. But I find myself laughing in the middle of the night. I'm sure my family would tell you that sometimes when I find things humorous in the middle of the night, I wake people up laughing. Bryce over there shaking his head. Yes, she does. Because when I find something funny, it's, I can't help myself. I have a loud laugh. Just peeling off the foam squares here. This is one place I like the big ones. I like the bigger ones. I like being able to move faster through the peeling off process and not have to hit all these little spaces. Okay, so this is ready to center here. Nope, not quite even. Try it again. Now it's off the other way. And we'll eventually find what I like here. There we go. Put a little glue on here, hold this bow. Left my glue bottle open again. There we go. Get it going. I'll put that bow right above the cord so it looks like it's tied on, but it's not. It's easier to do this way. And there we go. Another one done. We've now done the pheasants. Let's head for the fox.
And
How much?
5 minutes, and we still haven't done show and tell.
Okay.
Mark's show and tell over here.
We've got 2 show and tells they haven't seen yet.
Maybe you should just tell them about these last 3 cards.
Okay. Bryce is advocating I tell you about the last 3 because we still have 2 show and tells we haven't done yet. So let's do that. Let's get our 3 cards out here and let me walk you through what I did. It'll be a little faster to do that than to actually do it on camera.
Tape dispenser.
Huh? Yeah. We're all those little foam squares. Okay. This card is going to be done using the remainder of this red paper, one of our covered cards. It's going to be using, get my book out. What did I do with my book? We're going to use one of the fox papers. Oh, we already cut that fox paper. Where is he? Here he is. We already cut that. He's right here. We're going to use this fox paper. We're going to use, we have this piece of leftover. We're going to trim this down and we're going to use one of our, I believe we have a piece of mirror board left here. I have a piece of a mirror board.
I had 2 extra mirror boards.
I know I have 2 extra mirror boards, but I thought, yeah, here. That's not quite wide enough. Okay. You're going to take, let me tell you these dimensions. These dimensions for the mirror board here. You know what this is. This is going to be the red. Let me back up. We've got our base card, and you're going to allow a 1/4 inch margin. Lengthwise, you're going to be fine already because the card is 8 1/4. But widthwise, you're going to want to cut this. You're going to want to cut this to 3 and let me make sure my card is 4 inches. Yeah. You're going to want to cut this to 3 3/4 inches wide and center it. Then you're going to cut this. I actually made that red strip pretty narrow. I love the red strip in there, but I made it pretty narrow. It's only about a 1/4, about an 1/8 inch, which I think you could still use our standard measures and come in. So we had 3 3/4. This is going to be 3 1/2 wide. The fox by 7 3/4 inches long, and it's going to layer on top of the red. Then you're going to cut a piece of mirror board that is 2 1/2 inches wide by 4 inches long, and a piece that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 to make this little inset here. You're going to take the pine cone off of the fox sheet. We're going to put that on that piece. We're also going to take this little plaid piece. And I like the way that looked, just to add that plaid piece just like it was. And then you will have one more large stone left. Mine is hid on the table here somewhere. It's here. I saw it just a second ago. But you're going to take a large rhinestone and put right in the middle of that. And then take your 3 little rhinestones and go on the other side. So here's our finished card. mirror board, red, the tan plaid, cut the little inset, cut the blue, layer. This would be nice with foam under it. I don't know why I didn't put foam under. I'd put foam squares under this piece and under this piece. If you put it under this piece, you'll have to put double foam squares here, here, and here because this will already be up on one. Does that make sense? So there we go. Put 3 stones up here, 1 here, you're done. Okay? All right. So let's set that one aside. Our fox will be ready to go. Next, let's look at this fox. This fox is really quick and easy to do, but it really looks fun. You're going to use another piece of that background material from the fox. We're going to cut this to 3 7/8 inch wide by 5 5/8 inches long. And you're going to layer it on your Gold Mary. Then we're going to pop out that fox topper. Pop him out. He's 3 pieces. He's 3 pieces. Oh, I just popped both of them out of my book. Good die cutting. We're going to separate the rings. Really, we are. You're going to separate out your rings. Glue this back ring flush to your card. Okay. Then you're going to take the little center ring out. Save that for a different project. When you want to accent something, these little circles could be great for that. So don't throw this away. It's a really neat little, pay attention to what's in this area piece. You're going to layer this fox right on top here and allow that to show. And then that's going to let the background plaid show, which looks really good. And you have a layering piece on your topper sheet, on your fox sheet. You're going to stick that on with some foam squares. We're going to use our great guy off our topper sheet to finish it off. Easy peasy. Really cute though, huh? Love the fox. I love the fox. I'd say he's one of my favorites, but you guys know me well enough to know most of them are my favorites. So that's that card. Now last, the one we didn't do, unfortunately, is my favorite of the kit. It really is my favorite of the kit, but that's okay because it's easy like they all are. They're all easy when you see how to do it. You're going to take your last of your, I should have a piece of, I should have a piece of Mary. Oh, I do. No, I don't. I should have an extra piece of Mary. I think it's in your kit. If not, you have this and we can cheat. But I think you have an extra piece of Mary in your kit. So I've shuffled mine. You're going to take this card. You're going to get that beautiful green piece out of here with the foiling on it. I love this piece. You're going to cut this to 3 3/4 wide. And you're going to mount that on your page. You're going to take this remaining piece of this one that we have, you're going to cut that to 2.5 inches wide. So cut a 2.5 inch wide piece of this. And if you have an extra DL Miri, you're going to mount this on top of a piece that is 2.5 inches wide. I say 2.25, that which would make sense. This was 2.25, right? The topper, yeah. This piece is 2.25. This is 2.5 wide. If you don't have enough left, then just do what we've done before. Take this 2.25 inch strip, cut this in half, and just create little side borders, because what we're looking for is to create an accent strip to either side of that plaid.
Mary R asks if you're going to be ordering the Hunky Dory Box Kit 14.
Yes, we will. And once we have put those on, those 2 layers, then I want you to take what we have left of this. We have this little tiny square left, and we have this little square. We're going to use those. We're going to cut ourselves some little boxes that are 1 3/4 square. You want 3 of them. They're 1 3/4 square, and you're going to turn those on the diamond, and you're going to put these 3 little toppers on it with some foam squares, and then you're going to take that Greatest Dad banner and hang right over the top. Hi, Glenn. You're just in time for show and tell. We're just covering how to make the last 3 cards so we can do show and tell for the next couple. So I love this card. I think this is really, really neat. This is probably, it just has a beautiful sense of balance to it. I love the way the Greatest Dad kind of suspends over the top of the others. So these are the pieces that you'll be using for that. You'll take out, you actually have choices. I mean, if you prefer to use one of the pheasant, you have a pheasant, you have a cow, you have a rabbit, you have a fox, and you have a deer. So use the 3 images that you like the best. Hello there. Out of what's left for those. And then I mentioned to you that you're going to have some gift tags left. Here's a couple of the gift tags. You have these really nice gift tags that would be beautiful to attach to a bag to go with your cards. So there we go. That's what we have left to do. What kind of questions do you guys have for me at this point? Any questions on anything we've talked about? And then we'll move on to the show and tell. You have plenty of materials in your kit to cover everything we're talking about today. You've got to get 12 cards out of the first half, and you're still going to have half a kit left. So you are going to have great fun with this one. And this ends up being very, very cost-effective kit. Just with the ones that I'm showing you, you're coming in at a cost of $2 something a card. And then you still have the materials left to make 12 more. So my goodness, that's great. Okay, let's talk about what's coming up next week. Next week, I've only shown these once before, so if you weren't here on Thursday, you'll be seeing this one for the first time. This one's called Sea Dreams. And the theme of Sea Dreams is that it's supposed to be kind of a romantic themed ocean kit. These are really big this season. I've seen all the major manufacturers are coming out with something like this. But of course, I like the Stamperia kit. Well, it's not a kit. This is made from one single sheet of cardstock. In fact, let me show you. I have the kit here. I want to show you. This is the sheet of cardstock we're going to use. Can you back up a little, please? Then we'll have you come back in. You have one sheet of cardstock in this kit. And this cardstock is going to make all 5 cards. Woohoo! 5 cards. One sheet of cardstock from Stamperia. You're also getting a sheet of die cuts, not die cuts, chipboard from Stamperia in this kit. And of course, all the other components to build your cards. This is a very, very cost-effective kit. The most expensive element is the chipboard. It's $4 a sheet. And I gave you a full sheet in your kit. I love the turtles on here. I love the fact that all the sea animals in this, it's kind of that romantic theme, are decorated with flowers. It comes with seashells, as you can see. I've put these pearls in here. I thought they kind of matched the romantic kind of theme to these. They kind of remind me of Tahitian pearls. So I like the pearl effect with these. Feel free to use some of your, I did not include them. I contemplated putting in a tube of Nouveau drops, but so many of you took advantage of our sale on Nouveau drops. They didn't want to duplicate anything you already had and run your kit cost up. But think about using some Nouveau drops to accent some of these pieces. I think they'd be really pretty. So I love this. That's beautiful. So that's our first card. Our second card is this one. We have the turtle theme in the background that was actually our background sheet. We added we'll call them our Tahitian pearls. We added our faux Tahitian pearls at the bottom. I added one of our flower bundles here because I thought it was pretty with the turtle. And then I put this lighthouse theme up in the corner just for kind of a fun collage effect. Love, love this. Next, I'm disappointed with the way this one shows on the website because it's perhaps one of my favorites. Of course, they're all my favorites. But I'm disappointed with the way this one shows on the website. And even on camera, it doesn't do it justice because the dolphin, what I've done here to make this dolphin stand out is I've doubled my foam squares. He really stands out in person, and it's very, very dimensional. On camera, he hides a little bit more, but it shows more in the finished card. And I've added to my flower cluster up here with the flower in the corner. I've added my dolphin. Once again, we have our faux Tahitian pearls kind of accenting this card, and the rainbow Miri just really, really kicks that in. That is just beautiful. Yeah. $11.99 for 5 cards. You're not going to beat that anywhere. And here's our octopus. He kind of reminds me a bit of Oscar that we talked about last week. I've taken this floral piece. It was just a floral piece with some writing. I've accented it with an additional flower in the corner. I've put another chipboard flower on this corner. I put our Oscar the octopus here and our faux Tahitian pearls. But I love the way that one turned out. You're not going to find this kit anywhere else. This is out of my brain. But I love it. And this one, I love this one too. Oh my gosh, this seal on the shore. Look at him with the starfish and the little Tahitian pearls, faux Tahitian pearls here in the corner. I added my little flowers up in the corner, and I just think that is as charming as it gets. Really, really, really nice. Yeah, you can afford to get a couple of these if you like them a lot. We do have a limited number of them at this point, but feel free to jump in. Now, these 3 are inspiration cards. I had pieces left over of my chipboard, and you can't have that. I'm not including the supplies for these inspiration cards in your kit, but most of you have them. A lot of you, if not all of you, got the Jamie powders. I made this is Rainbow Mary, of course, on an A6 card. I made this card using the teal color Jamie with the coral, and I think I showed it to you when I made it and said I'm going to make an ocean card out of that one. Yep. This one I took the coral and kind of cut it at the bottom, and then I cut my mini thanks out of that so it would match nicely, and just put that turtle on there. That's all it wanted. It didn't want anything else because it was just beautiful, just like that. And look at that shimmer. Is that gorgeous or what? Jamie powders. We love our Jamie powders around here. Okay, can't set that one there though. I gotta come in here. I love beluga whales. We used to have a beluga whale. I think they still do, maybe at the Point Defiance Park in Tacoma, Washington, which isn't too far from here. And I love beluga whales. They're so charming and so friendly and just beautiful, wonderful nature creatures. This one is done with one of my blue drag, dip and drag papers. In my Jamie 2.1 video, I was showing you those papers that I was dipping and dragging. This background is made with that dip and drag paper. I've used some blue glitter paper to cut my happy birthday, also using component that die from my Jamie kit. And then these flowers there was one little tiny corner in my cardstock I hadn't used, and it had these flowers on the back of that piece. So I fussy cut around those flowers and leaves and used those to finish off that card. And isn't that just charming? I love this card. And I especially love that. Look at the tones of the water from that dip and drag. That's what you get with that, because with that dip and drag, you have places on your pad that are less inked and more inked, and then you get those variations in the blue. Wowzer, it's beautiful. And this one is off the same sheet of dip and drag paper. I had purples on my palette too. And look at that, with the purples mixed in with the blue. Some of it all shimmers, but some shimmers more than others. You also get that with the dip and drag. Cut myself a white happy birthday using the die out of that construction kit, and just attach the seal in the seashore, and it doesn't get any prettier than that. Wowzer. So there you go. This is coming up next weekend. I couldn't be more excited about it. I love these kits that we create just using a single sheet of cardstock to see what we can get from it, because this is amazing. So this is coming up next weekend. Margie has a card class coming up next weekend, or not next weekend, next Thursday. She's continuing through the box 7 card kit. Here's her first card. Let's see, make sure I get it from the back. Here's her first card from that kit. She's doing an explosion box with you, using balloons and tags from the kit. It's a pop-up box. No, it's not an explosion box. It's a pop-up box card. Thank you, Brace, for correcting me. That was good. So you get this really cute little, I almost did it again, pop-up box card that you guys are going to do. She's not going to be able to do all of these cards on camera, but like I just did, she'll explain what she did with anything that you don't have time to finish. Here's another of her cards. I'm just seeing these for the first time. She started working on them the other night, but just took them home and finished them. Here's her second card. I don't even know how many there are. Oh, this is pretty. Look what she did there. That's fun. Look what she did there. She did an arch card, left it attached at the top, and cut around her arch. leaving it attached just by a fine piece at the top. But that's so pretty. I love that. That's fun. So there's 3. Make sure I'm getting these all right side up. 4, simple design, very effective, very pretty. Love that. That's 4 cards. She's using some crepe ribbon here. I love this with the bicycle. That's fun. Oh, and what's she doing? She's using like plum, I think, colored Mary in the back of that iridescent plum. Isn't that fun? She's also using a stick pin. That's fun too. Looky there, that's beautiful. Really pretty. I love these. I love this one. This is where I told you we're going to use the Kathy bow. There's a Kathy bow. Oh, is it a Kathy bow? I thought it was a cat. Yeah, 1, 2. No, it's not a Kathy bow. It's 515. Beautiful though, isn't it? Using more of that crepe ribbon. I love crepe. You guys are going to get spoiled again with this crepe. Look at this one with the green iridescent. Ooh, beautiful. I love that. It's really kind of fun the way she has mixed the fancy iridescent papers with the simple toppers. Isn't that nice? That's really pretty and very striking.
I like how she went much larger border than normal.
Yeah,
So it
that's
really
gorgeous.
sets that off.
It really sets it off. And on this one, you can't see it there, but she's taken this fine outer border and she's put that up on foam squares and recessed the center so it kind of looks like a picture frame. And next up, this is fun the way she has mixed her iridescent paper or her iridescent cardstock and her gold cardstock. Isn't that pretty? She's making really good use of those double-sided papers from the kit too. I love this. This is beautiful what she did with this. And then she made a big 8x8 gatefold card because she had this big pretty bicycle topper and she had this wonderful balloon background paper and she just wanted to do something that really jumped out at you. So that is fun. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in total from her half of this kit. This will be presented next Thursday. And then I don't know if Margie will do it or I will do it, but we each took half of the kit and made the cards. And I had the animals part. So this is also coming to a craft room near you. Look at that raccoon. Isn't he cute? We got a lamb. It says, "Happy birthday to you, EWE." This one says, "To someone very special with love." Daffodils and that baby lamb. This one has the little duckling. And it says, this one actually says Easter wishes. You don't have to make this an Easter card unless you want to. You can certainly use a different sentiment on it, either a sticker or something out of one of your hunky-dory books if you want to. I love this raccoon. He's just too cute. Here's the raccoon. He's adorable. The bunnies. Gorgeous. Here's our DL card. This is also from Box Kit 7. this one is listed. Margie's is not listed yet. She just dropped off her cards a little while ago, so I need to construct the kit over the weekend. But we will try and get that up for you so that you can get that ordered. You will have, remember, the card kits came in the stamping kit. So you need the stamping kit 1 in order to do classes 2 and 3. I think mine is called number 2 because I didn't realize Margie was going to have her kits back this fast. They may be offered out of order. Kit 3 will be offered probably next Thursday, and Kit 2 will be a couple weeks out. But I'm going to have Margie go ahead and do hers next week because I think there's a lot, I'm sensing from your comments, there's a lot of excitement to move forward with Margie's cards. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm missing a card. Where's my rocker card? I also have a rocker card. 3, 5, 7, 8. I got 9 cards also. Excuse me while I pull a big bin into your picture for a second of all my work in process. So I can't find my other card. It should be in here. I think I just didn't pull it out. If I don't find it, it's on the website with my other photos. If you're ordering the kit, you can see it there. It's actually the profile kit. It doesn't appear I got it back up here. I'll have to find it before class. But, this is all my other projects pending. I have a lot of them right now. I don't know where it went. It should be here. It's not. So, I don't know. As soon as you're not watching, I'll go, oh, there it is. But it's on the website. You could actually show it to them, honey, if you wanted to show them. You can't? No, because you only have one camera. Never mind. You can see it on the listing. There's a rocker card that goes with this. It's kind of like my central card. And then my little critters cards are added. So in this kit, you have the 3 stamp cards that Margie did with you on Thursday night. You'll have another 9 next week and another 9 on another week. So that's 18. That'll be 21 cards from box kit 7 that we will have shown you. So excellent. Yes, I am ordering the kit 14, Mary. And I would guess there's a pretty good chance we will be doing, because it's nautical. And I love that. I'd say there's an awfully good chance we will be doing that as classes. Yes. Yes, we will. Mary R. So, any other questions? We got lots of good stuff coming for you guys, and it just keeps coming. We're going to be doing the spinner cards from Hunky Dory. I love spinner cards. I'm a kid at heart, and spinner cards just make my heart sing. So we're going to be doing spinner cards. We're going to be doing the Animal Kingdom cards. I actually have Meadow Farms sitting here because I loved those when we went through them. So we have just one set of goodies after the other. Oh, and I have a surprise set of cards coming up. I'm not even going to tell you about them, but I'm very, very excited about it. It's another masculine card. We've never done we've used the technique before, but we've never done anything in this style. So I can't wait to show you those. That's probably going to be the next thing I play with. But anyway, that's what we got. Thank you guys for tuning in, and smash that like button if you haven't done it yet. Give me the thumbs up, please. Thank you. Yes, I live to tempt you, Mary R. It's my life's mission. Nice to have you with us today, Janet. Thank you so much for tuning in, and to Glenn and to Kathy and Annette and Mary R., Roberta, all our friends. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you on Wednesday for What's New Wednesday. We'll be here at 5 o'clock Wednesday to show you, such cool hunky-dory stuff. So we'll see you then. Till then, I'm just going to say good night, Gracie.